morning, everyone.
Happy Saturday. Thank you so much for tuning in to Let's Talk Woman to Woman. We have an awesome show for you guys today. We have a special guest. His name is Randy Schnack. We're going to be bringing him in later on. So we're talking about finances, women in business, just business in general.
Having a business plan.
Yes,
We got a lot.
a lot of things to talk about. So all of our entrepreneurs, we have a lot of entrepreneurs who watch us. So if you're in the Chicagoland area, suburbs, or surrounding area, this is something that you definitely want to tune into if you need some assistance. We all can
Absolutely.
use some assistance somewhere.
Yes, yes, yes.
Um, it's a very cold Saturday. I'm really trying to get into this whole winter. I mean, because it's winter now. I don't care what anyone says, but it's definitely winter time now. It
I
feels
am
like
a
it
summertime girl.
with your little fur on that you have here. I mean, I woke up this morning. It was only 20 degrees outside. It was just like, oh my God,
Yeah.
it's here. So
And then actually it snowed yesterday.
yeah, yes, it did.
What
It
in the
snowed.
world is going
So
on? I'm
people
not
they act
ready.
like they cannot drive on Channel
People were saying
7
they
News.
forgot how to drive in the snow.
I mean,
That
it's
is
just
so funny.
I mean, being in Chicago, we know it comes every year, but it's just like when it comes, it's just like, oh my God, like a
Right.
culture shock almost. So,
Hmm.
anyways, it's here. So now Thanksgiving is just literally right around the corner. I'm sure everyone is planning their Thanksgiving holiday with their family. So, we have that to look forward to. In the meantime, we have a lot coming up.
Yes, we do. I am so excited because Brittany has shared her church announcements with me, and normally she doesn't allow me to do the announcements, but she must be in a good mood today.
Oh,
So
whatever.
tomorrow we will be vendors for the 6th anniversary celebration and fashion show for Curve Appeal, and that will take place at the Ravens Place private venue room, which is located 13031 Western Avenue in Blue Island. We have 5 complimentary tickets to
Yes.
give away. So if you're interested and you would like to come down and support us and look at the fashion show, please hit us up on social media. We have 4 tickets. I apologize because I promised one to Alice Boswell. So if you are interested, hit us up, come down, see us at the Ravens Place.
Yes, and that is tomorrow, Sunday, from
Oh, 4:30
4:30
to
to
9. I
9,
apologize. See, she's going to take the
November
church
12th.
announcements away because I'm not doing a good job.
Thank you.
My second church announcement, next Sunday on November the 19th, we are hosting an Entrepreneurship Unplugged from 3 to 8 at the Atrium in Country Club Hills. This event is for new and seasoned entrepreneurs to come together and network and build professional relationships. So if this is something that you're interested in, please make sure that you go to Eventbrite and register. And the tickets are only $10.
The way you say it, it really does sound like church announcement.
Well, that's what they are.
We have a lot of things going on this month, clearly outside of just holidays. But November 25th, which is after Thanksgiving, we will be vendors at the 3rd annual Small Business Saturday Day Party, which is going to be at the Standout Style Boutique with our girl Tamika. We always are talking about her. We
Yeah.
just love her.
Yes.
It's going to be come and shop with multiple women businesses owned by women. Sorry, that was just crazy.
I'm going to take the
But yeah,
announcement from you.
multiple businesses that are owned by women, whether it's in beauty, fashion, lifestyle brands, clothing, just all kinds of wonderful brands and businesses that are going to be there. Hors d'oeuvres are going to be served, cocktails, beauty demos will be taking place there. The following brands: Standout Style Boutique, it's an award-winning women's clothing boutique. Nicole Jordan Catering, Exquisite Eats Made with Love. Love Verse by Tierra Monique Verse, local fashion designer offering handed crafted clothing and accessories, and Chic Shirk Shop, which is a stylish, high quality graphic tees, hoodies, and tops. And last but not least, Missouri Body Essentials. We will be there with our Bath and Body Care line. Oh, I'm sorry, I did not want to forget anyone. Love Peridot is a curated collection of chic, affordable accessories, gift, and lifestyle items. So all of these wonderful business women will be there talking about business women. All of us will be there. We are so excited. So please make sure you go to Eventbrite if you want to come out and enjoy a wonderful day. Register and get your ticket.
And before we go any further, I want to say today is Veterans Day.
Yes. Yes.
So we have to acknowledge those that have served and sacrificed for our freedom here in our country. And we just want to say thank you so very much and happy Veterans Day.
Absolutely. And if you are into shopping, they got all kinds of Veterans Day sales going on. So
you always got to turn to see.
Make sure you go out and take advantage of those. I'm sure you got all kinds of emails from different places just in time for the holidays. Speaking of shopping, really quick, I wanted to do a quick review on a product. It is a cleanser for your skin. If you have acne-prone skin or you tend to break out, I don't know if anyone has heard of the Yes 2 brand. It is sold at Target. I don't know if they have their own website or not.
I don't have that problem.
Excuse me?
I don't have that problem.
Oh, okay. Anyways, it is so the one I'm using or making a review on is Yes 2 tomatoes. So it is really good for clearing your skin. I had a breakout where I had one pimple come in right here. It's almost gone. And I used this, and it's like a detoxifying charcoal cleanser. You can use it daily, and what it does is it says tomatoes and charcoal are to help remove dirt and impurities. So it's really nice for this little 2-ounce bottle. I mean, you want to get something small like this if you're just trying it out. It was only $2.99 from Target at the little end cap thing there. So Yes 2 products, I use their mask all the time. So if you are interested in their products, go to Target and tell me what you think about it.
All right, girl.
So we're going to take a quick break. We are going to come back with some current events and Randy Schnack. I kind of want to hear his opinion on certain things that's coming on. He is the CEO of Financial Group and Schnack Financial Group. So sorry, I don't want to mess it up. So please stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
And we are back.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Let's Talk Woman to Woman. Here we have our very special guest, Randy Schnack, President and CEO of Schnack Financial Group.
Yes.
Hello.
We
are wonderful.
Thank you for being our guest today. We really appreciate it.
I'm really shocked because you promised me warm weather, right? Like someplace at the beach with umbrellas and Mai Tais.
I wish.
And I'm going, we did have snow.
Yes.
What's that all about?
Oh
I don't know. I
wish. I am just, I need to move somewhere where it's warm because I can't deal with this each year. It just gets depressing and even more depressing. I hate it. I don't like wearing coats and in the snow. I just don't like it. So if you find some warm weather, please take me with you.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that. We've got some offices in other parts of the country that are nice and warm, so we can maybe arrange for a remote radio performance sometime in the future.
Yes, we would love that. We would love that. Before we get into the Schnack Financial Group, which is extremely, it has all kinds of you guys have a lot of different things to offer. So before we even get into that, I just want to share a few things with you. Google, everyone is familiar with Google. Who doesn't know Google? Google is out here making major moves, trying to help promote diversity within the technology world. According to a press release, the tech giant recently gave a $1 million grant to the Genius Project, an Oakland-based nonprofit that is working to increase representation of Black male youth in the tech industry. The funds will help the group train more staff, expand to new cities, and impact more young people who want to pursue careers in the tech world. This work builds on over 35 million in Google.org grants focused on providing opportunities for underrepresented students who become pioneers of technology. And we're excited to see how the Hidden Genius Project uses the new grant. Justin Steele, who's the president at Google.org, he said in a statement, while we don't expect all students to pursue a career in tech, we know the skills they learn will serve them well no matter what job ignites their passion. The Hidden Genius Project, founded in 2012, was created by 5 Black male entrepreneurs and technologists to connect young Black males with skills, mentors, experiences, and they need to become a high-performing entrepreneurs and technologists in the 21st century. So I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, that is great.
I mean, that is true. You really don't see a lot of Black males in technology. I mean, that is very true. And I think that not saying that they're not wanting to or they don't find interest, you just don't see it. And I think that is awesome.
Go ahead, Google. Well, I have a Woman of the Week. And actually, we usually do not select our Woman of the Week until Friday, maybe even sometimes Saturday morning. But I found this young lady on Facebook on last Sunday, and I said immediately, she's our Woman of the Week. Our Woman of the Week does not have to be a celebrity or any famous person. It's just someone that is doing amazing things in their community, and we want to acknowledge this person.
Or just period.
Just period. So our Woman of the Week this week is Miss Dana Chanel, and she is the founder of Sprinkle of Jesus. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with Miss Chanel or Sprinkle of Jesus, please allow me the honors. Sprinkle of Jesus is an app that you can download onto your phone. Every day, 2 to 3 times a day, you'll receive a message. And sometimes the message is a scripture or inspirational quote. And it was you, Brittany, that actually introduced me to Sprinkle of Jesus, because Brittany would say, oh, let me tell you what Sprinkle of Jesus said today. And I'm like, who? What? And so when I finally got the clue of what she was referring to, then I downloaded it on my phone, and I love when I wake up in the morning and I have a Sprinkle of Jesus alert. So please, I encourage you to go to the Apple Store, or if you have an Android, the Play Store, download the app Sprinkle of Jesus, and you will receive inspirational quotes. It is truly, and every time, I promise you, every time since I've had it on my phone that I've received it, it has always dealt with or encouraged me for that very moment of what I'm dealing with or having to make a decision on or whatever. So it's just a wonderful, wonderful app. And so Miss Dana Chanel, you are our Woman of the Week. We thank you so much for the vision and that you have created such an amazing tool that has inspired so many.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like her messages come right on time.
It does, totally.
Are you reading my mind? So if anyone does not have the app, please definitely
go support
definitely
that.
go get it.
Yes.
Maybe Jesus is reading your mind.
yes. That's exactly what's going on.
It's a free download. It's no cost. So please, go and support this. It's
absolutely. Well, it seems like we wanted to really just focus on positivity
absolutely
today on this show. So we're just talking about all positive things going on. TJ Maxx, they continue to pay employees in Puerto Rico despite the stores being closed. I mean, even though this has been a couple months and several weeks since the Hurricane Maria hit in Puerto Rico, they are still, severely affected by it. Hundreds and hundreds of people are still without power. They have limited resources, water, and, it's just like the media to a certain extent has gone on and moved to the next story. But these people are still, even in Houston, these people are still, are dealing with what has, transpired months ago. So a department store company, TJ Maxx, has recently been receiving praise after it has been confirmed that they are still paying their employees in Puerto Rico, although stores are closed due to Hurricane Maria. Some popular department stores that fall under the TJX include TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods, which I love. According to CBS Boston, the TJX owner confirmed that they are still paying employees even though stores remain closed due to hurricane damage. A TJX spokeswoman said, "We believe it is the right thing for us to do under these circumstances." The Boston Globe reports that there are 29 TJX-owned stores on the island, but the company has not confirmed how many are closed, as most of the island is still without power. So, you know, a lot of people have took to Twitter and social media to say this is where they're going to do their holiday shopping. A lot of people have really been supporting the TJX brand and company. And so, you know, I think that is awesome, because a lot of times, you know, whether the stores go out of business or whatever, they'll just close the store. But these people, they still have lives and families.
Right.
And so I think that is just awesome. So kudos to you, TJ Maxx.
Well, I have another inspiring story. Philadelphia barber is gifted with a free barbershop. Philadelphia is the city of brotherly love, and one man is spreading some love by donating free haircuts to the homeless. He wouldn't expect to be blessed in a much bigger way. Brennan Jones, he started haircuts for the homeless, and he was giving free haircuts and food and toiletries to those in need. With winter approaching, he was trying to figure out what he was going to do with regards to a brick and mortar. Well, Mr. Johnson, what is his name? Sean Johnson, heard about this initiative, and he decided to jump in and wanted to help. So he came to him and he says, and actually, Mr. Johnson was just finishing up renovating a new building of his own. And so he approached Brennan Jones and says, "Hey, I want to show you a building. You know, do you like it?" And he said, "Well, yeah," and tossed him the keys and gave it to him for free.
That is awesome.
Isn't that an awesome story? So congratulations to both of them for, you know, for Sean Johnson for having the heart to give. You know, and then of course Brennan Jones for having the heart to give, to cut hair, you know, for free and give food and toiletries. So congratulations to both of you.
You don't find a lot of people just giving you know, property, whether it's a home, whether it's a, you know, commercial building, just anything. You don't find that often. And, you know, I think that is just awesome. And the fact that he was already doing something for a great cause in his community, it's like it was well deserved. Well deserved. So without further ado, we want to come on and welcome again Mr. Randy Schnack from the Schnack Financial Group.
Hello.
Thank you so much for sitting here and listening
to all of our
announcements, to our beauty and to our beauty reviews. You've been so patiently waiting. Thank you so much.
You know, it's not only a pleasure to listen, but I mean, it's a pleasure to look.
Thank you.
Ladies are absolutely lovely, and so it's not surprising that you would be talking about beauty tips, because you are the quintessential beauty tip, just by virtue of being who you are.
You need to come back every week.
Yeah, the check is in the mail.
Thank you.
So let us tell you a little bit about Randy. Randy Schnack is the president and CEO of Schnack Financial Group, focusing on retirement planning and financial services with offices in Chicago, Atlanta, San Diego, and Southern Illinois, St. Louis area?
Yeah.
Wow. So Schnack Financial Group has been helping clients since 1975? Wow. That's amazing. Awesome. That is absolutely amazing. So tell us some of the services that your company offers.
And how did you get started?
How did I get started? Wow, that's a great question. How long do we have? Basically, the services we focus, as you indicated, in retirement. But for us, retirement planning starts really with your first job and ends really, as I say, sometimes when they throw the first shovel of dirt. Because everything that happens in between as you live your life is going to affect your retirement.
So true.
And so the money you spend or don't spend in certain ways, it does end up impacting what you're going to have to live on once you stop working. And that's what we want to try and prepare you for. So that's really the philosophy. Next to me, those of you that are looking at Facebook Live may not be able to see Bill. Bill's our senior VP. He works in the areas of healthcare and retirement. We have a lot of individuals who are specialists in different areas, but everybody that are members of our team actually have the ability to do a lot of different things for our clients. And those are individuals and small businesses all over the U.S.
Yes. I mean, one thing I would say that you guys, like you said, you guys offer an array of services, marketing, financial, you guys have an attorney in your group, insurance. So it's like only pretty much any aspect of
one-stop shop.
It really is. Almost any aspect of a business or, that you would need. Like you said, it's a one-stop shop that you guys assist from start to finish. And so I think that is just awesome. I think that is awesome. And you've done this since 1975.
Yeah. I started when I was 3. Before either of you young ladies were born.
Oh, you are. I told you, he
smart
is funny.
Kid. You are very smart.
When I was 3. That is so funny. So what are, because you deal with a lot of different entrepreneurs and business owners, what are some different issues and problems that you see that they have coming to you?
In the area of entrepreneur, one of the biggest things that we see now is access to capital. And I'll give you a quick extreme example. I have a good friend. He's a client that lives out on the West Coast. He's a very, very successful attorney and CPA. And he works with individuals who are high net worth individuals. And one quick example was he was working with a client he works actually even outside the United States, but in the central part of the United States, it has a high net worth, a lot of assets, and went to his local bank because he wanted to buy a business. And basically they turned him down because he didn't have his money, even though he had a lot of assets, was not very liquid. So, that's an extreme example of somebody that's very successful, has a lot of net worth. Well, what happens when you're getting started? Where do you go for money? Where do you go for, information about how to raise capital and what are the different structures that best work for small businesses? And that's one of the areas that we do work with quite a bit, is helping small businesses, giving them some insight in terms of sources of capital and ways to do that, how to do it responsibly. We work with an entity which is called the Business Credit Literacy Initiative, which helps small businesses, counsels them in effect to guide them through the process of where to look for money and how to find it. So that's one of the many things that we do with entrepreneurs.
So what would you say, or what sort of advice would you give to someone who's thinking about going into business? What would be their first thing to do, other than call you?
Yeah. What is like the first thing before you do anything else?
I'm gonna.
That's one number. Yeah, give us a call, and then number 2, we'll sit and talk. It really, there's no one answer, I guess, from my standpoint to that question, because it depends upon, one, the type of business you're trying to get into. It depends upon, I think your personality, what fits you. If you're not an individual that may be very outgoing or wants to take a lot of risks, one of the things we'll look at is, where do you see yourself being in the future? A lot of people ask me what my educational background is, and they say, well, you must have a degree in finance, or you must have, something to do with money and things. Actually, I have a master's degree in counseling. And we spend a lot of time, what I think is from a counseling approach, with our clients, trying to give them guidance. Whether you're an entrepreneur that is starting, whether you are an individual that has a job that gives you a regular paycheck, one of the things that we try to do with our clients is to help them to understand that this is your money, and we're here really just to give you some guidance, some insight, provide you some direction, but the decision ends up being yours. It may not be what I would do, but it has to be what you would do, what you feel comfortable doing. I've said for a long time, all of our clients have my personal cell phone.
I would say you're very personal.
Well, but the reason I bring that up is, if I'm and I've been a registered investment advisor and done securities, and now we have people on our team that focus in that area. But if I'm not going to, I want you to be comfortable with anything that we do with you, because again, it affects your money. So if you're doing something that, or if there's something that's being done with your money that you're not comfortable with, I want you to know that you can call me directly and let me know that that's the case. So, that may not specifically answer the question, but it really is the philosophy that we try and work with, that it's your money. We want to work with you to find what makes sense for you. And that's really the second step in trying to get a small business going for an entrepreneur, is get some feel for where you want to go, and then we can kind of say, well, if I were you, I'd look in these areas.
Okay. So let me ask you this now. Touch on briefly the importance of business credit and using business credit for your business and not your personal credit.
That's a great question. Those of you that haven't looked into this, or even if you're in business right now, it's very typical that a small business or an entrepreneur would start using their personal assets or personal capital. Maybe they're working full time and they're doing this as a sideline, whatever the situation is. But one of the first things we recommend that you do is to start to build up credit in the name of the business, so that you can go out and buy things without having to sign personally and obligate your personal funds for that particular purchase. And that really is the key component of building, in my opinion, and being successful in business, whether you're just starting or whether you've been in business for 15 years, is make sure you have a strong business credit profile so that you can go on out and do financial transactions in the name of the business that do not obligate your personal assets.
Now, how often do you encounter different people who have made the mistake of using their personal assets and their personal capital versus going out to find other funding?
Yeah, it's again another good question. It's all the time, and I'll give an extreme example. Good friend of mine, very, very successful business based here in the Chicago area. So successful that they actually opened they were an automotive parts supplier. Mm-hmm. And so successful that they opened up a brand new factory. They manufactured the parts and opened up a brand new factory in the South, I think in Arkansas a number of years ago. Brought in a lot of jobs. Governor came and cut the ribbon. But again, based here in Chicago, they had one of the major automotive stores that bought everything that they could produce, literally. And I don't remember how many employees, probably 500 employees. One day, my friend, the president, got a call, and they said, we just wanted to let you know that we're terminating our agreement with you.
Oh, wow.
And we're going to, some other provider to buy all of the things you've been selling. Now, this company represented probably 70%. I think it was 60% of their total sales. So
Wow.
imagine going from, I don't remember what their total revenue was, but cutting that by 60%.
Wow.
He ended up, because of the way he had structured his business, this is a number of years ago, he ended up having to sell his house because he had pledged personal assets to it. Very, very nice, lovely home with an in-ground pool and in River Forest. And, just to hang on to keep the business afloat, finally ended up having to sell off portions of the business and ended up ultimately losing the business completely.
Wow.
So it happens. It happens all too frequently, whether you're a large major company that is generating millions of dollars in revenue, or whether you're a company that is wondering how much do I need to make in order to be able to make the electric payment next week. Those things happen. So yeah, it's an important aspect of setting up a business, and it's one of the things that we take a look at very early on in our process of working with small businesses and entrepreneurs.
What we talked about earlier, before we even started the show this morning, we talked about women in business. And I had a question, because you see now more and more women are going into business. Is there a difference, or do you see women making certain mistakes that men don't tend to, or is it kind of all the same, or?
There, I guess, and this is a generalization, I think women in general seem to be a little more cautious sometimes, and that's not necessarily bad. They make decisions that I think are a little more thoughtful sometimes. A lot of guys are fly by the seat of your pants kind of decision makers. So yeah, there is a difference, but again, I think from my standpoint, one of the things that we do, and I know a number of successful individuals. I've got a good friend right now that started basically kind of a catering company within the last couple of years, and she's just going absolutely great guns, but very well organized. Was doing kind of some party planning for a corporation, and so had some experience with it, and decided to make the jump to do her own things. And she really is, just doing an amazing job. So it is good. But I don't want to forget one of the things for any woman who's interested in getting involved in business. We have a white paper that we'd be happy to send to you, which is called "Women: What You Should Know When Starting a Business." And anybody that is interested in getting that, there's no cost to it. Just send us an email, and our email address is info@Schnack, SCHNACK, financial.com, and just say Women in Business white paper, and we'll be happy to send that to you. We'll put you on our monthly newsletter list, which really is just full of information. We aren't selling anything, and there is an opt-out button at any time you want that deletes your information from the airwaves of our existence, so we aren't going to pester you. That's we're just there trying to find it, and at least it'll give you some contact with us.
You mean to tell me we've been saying your name wrong all this time?
That's all right.
Schnack.
My standard response is, you can pronounce my name any way you want, just spell it right on the check.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
I know that's right.
Well,
But I'm gonna make sure I say it right this time. Schnack.
Schnack.
Knock.
Schnack.
Knock. It's very German, but yeah. I don't take any offense. I've been called a lot worse of things that start with the letter S. So, but spell it right on the check and we'll be fine.
I know that's right.
So, how important is having a business plan?
A business plan, you know, the analogy that I use, and I'm very kind of plan oriented. You know, I don't go from point A to point B without knowing what that map looks like and what are the roads that I'm going to take. You know, I love some of the GPS applications. Well, the one in my car, but also the one on the cell phones, and I constantly have those on. And the reason is, and there are all these cliche phrases that are sayings that, you know, if you don't know where you're going, how are you going to get there? You know, you've got to make a plan for how you want to get to what your end game is. And that's really what the business plan does, is it maps out a strategy for you that gives you the capability to have some checkpoints along the way that said, well, in my plan, I wanted to be at this location, again, using maybe a trip, at this point in time. And that location may be in terms of revenue, it may be in terms of the number of products that you're selling, to the size of your client base, whatever it happens to be. Here's where I wanted to be when I started down this path. And now that I'm there, I want to take a look, have I gotten to where I hoped I'd be? And if I have, that's good. If I haven't, well, why not? Did I run out of gas? Did I, you know, have a flat tire? Because things happen. So it gives you some checkpoints that keep you on track, keep you focused to what your end game is, which is, you know, to generate enough revenue so that you can do growth or whatever your future business plans are. Yeah.
So how often should you revise a business plan?
You know, revisions can take a lot of different forms. We recommend that you at least look at it in detail at least once a year. But in terms of from the standpoint of, they will also include some cash flow projections and things like that. You want to take a look at that on a more regular basis. You want to sit down and say, you know, at the very minimum, I'd say at least quarterly, to sit down and say, you know, I anticipated, or my goal was to be at this point from a revenue standpoint at the end of this quarter. And so where am I? It's, you know, as you're just getting started, you probably really want to do that more frequently than that. But once you're operational, you don't have to focus on it as much. But yeah, certainly, you know, once in the early days, you're probably looking at it almost every day. You know, what came in today and what's going out tomorrow, and how big is the coming in compared to what's going out. You know, so you want to have at least a pretty good feel for that. You don't want to have surprises. So it depends. It depends from how mature your business is in your plan. And then once it is operational, you want to review, you know, the textual components of the business plan, the strategies, and you know, we set up a legal structure, and this is what it is. Does that legal structure still make sense? You know, because sometimes in the early days of a business, you might have one legal structure, and as you mature, it makes more sense from a tax standpoint and a variety of other reasons to have a different legal structure.
You know what? I think a lot of times, a lot of people like myself get very intimidated by the whole financial part of the business plan, which is the biggest part. How important, or what are some tips that you could kind of give off of ways to get and push through that? But before coming to you, obviously, I mean, because he has a wonderful team that will help you and walk you through the entire thing. But what are some things to help you push past that fear and that anxiety of the whole financial part? Because it does play a big part in your business plan.
Whether it's working with us, if that's not your strength, your area of expertise, find somebody that you feel comfortable with that can work with you in that area. One of the things I did in my early days in business is I had a good friend who was actually a very high executive at what was at that time Harris Bank.
I remember Harris Bank.
And I won't talk about the fact that they're no longer Harris Bank and what they're called, but it doesn't make any sense to me. But when you're bought by a company based out of Canada, some things just don't make sense. Anyhow, I digress. Find somebody. I went with him, and we would have lunch periodically, and I'd run ideas by him, financial ideas. And the thing that I loved about him, Dick has passed away, and I miss his counsel and advice dearly. He would always say, "Okay, my banker hat says this. Bankers tend to be very conservative. They wear belts and suspenders. They want to make sure nothing falls down on them." So he would give me his banker perspective, that very conservative perspective, and then he'd say, personally, this makes a lot of sense, and these are the shortfalls, and these are the things that you want to do, and these are the things that are really good. So you need that kind of mentor, in a sense, I think, to start with. And then, if you're not good at number crunching, find somebody. Again, you mentioned we have a group, part of our team, which is called the Best Team, and that includes people that are bookkeeping and accounting. And we work with small startup businesses for what we think is very reasonable price to help you set up some things. And even if you need assistance paying some bills and recording and putting stuff, lots of software applications out there that walk you through it, things that are online. Investigate that if you want to. There's going to be cost for that too. There's no free lunch. So. Yeah.
No, not at all. So you have all these, different cities, and each group in each city, they offer the same exact services, right?
Yeah, most of our team are located here in the Chicago area. For example, in Las Vegas, we have one person. We don't have the best team. Our best team supports our activities out there. So our satellite and our regional offices do not have 15 people. But in the day of technology, it's very easy for us to, do a video conference, an internet call, whatever, to work with clients all over the United States and actually all over the world. So
even if you're not in the Chicagoland area, you can certainly benefit from the Schnack Financial Group.
We would hope so.
Yes. Yes. I mean, it seems as if, and what we can also see, that you guys are not just talking about like finances, but you're more of a support group that provides services to someone who, who's in need and who's in business of all aspects. So I thought that was very nice.
Well, before we went on air, we were talking about the importance. You mentioned to us a woman that you knew that did not know about her finances. And so it kind of expand on that conversation that we were having.
Actually used to live very close to where we are right now, which brought her to mind. Family had been a client, personal client, individuals, and worked with them for a number of years. And the husband had a great job working with United Airlines. And not to belabor the point, came down very suddenly with cancer, and in less than a year had passed away. Mm. And Mary came to me, obviously distraught, and I've been with them as he was undergoing treatment and everything. After the funeral, she called me up, and I had made arrangements because they had some life insurance on him to get them that. And when I delivered the check, she broke down and she said, "I have no idea what's going on with the finances." And I'll deviate real quick from the story. Whether you're in a business relationship or a personal relationship,
absolutely,
the people in that relationship, you may have responsibilities. So one person typically in a personal or a business relationship is going to have the primary responsibility of handling maybe the books, so to speak. But the other people in that relationship, business or personal, need to have some understanding. They don't need to be involved in every decision, but they need to at least have. So if you're in business, meet regularly with the partners to let them know where things stand. If you're in a personal relationship, whether it's a spouse, significant other, whatever that is, understand. Mary had no idea, knew what bank they were with, but didn't know how much money was in the account, didn't really hadn't, and they'd been married a number of years, didn't balance the checkbook. And so we worked with her to help her understand what needed to be done, how to do a bank reconciliation, and worked with her. And after a number of months, I had been out on a call, and she left me a voicemail message, and I could tell she was really excited. And she said, "Randy, I just balanced the checkbook and I was 1 penny off," and which was a great accomplishment. After a number of months, and I was very excited for her. So when I got back and listened to the message, I got a recording of Handel's Messiah and put it on the Hallelujah chorus. And so as soon as she came on the phone, I hit play, and it went into Hallelujah, and I could hear her on the other end of the phone just laughing and giggling because it was an accomplishment. It was a sense of achievement for her. But if you truly care for a business partner, which hopefully you do if you're going to be in business with them, if you love and care for a relationship partner, you need to understand part of that is showing them the respect that they need to be aware of what's going on, have access to it, at least to the point of saying, how do I look at the account, and I just want to check, or wherever it happens to be.
No, I'm sorry. I was going to say, I totally understand, because I've seen firsthand where, like you said, there's been a spouse or something, and someone completely, they just know nothing whatsoever. They don't know where any files are. They don't know anything, and they're just lost. Mm-hmm. And it's very, very important to make sure that you, like you say, even know just the basics of something. Because if once they're gone, it's like, well, you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And it's very scary. It's a very scary situation.
Well, Randy, thank you so very much. As we come to a close of our show,
yes.
Tell us, or tell our viewers, how can someone schedule an appointment with you? But be sure to say that you saw him on Let's Talk Woman to Woman with Elegant Behavior.
Yes.
Now.
Yes.
Absolutely. I'll give you our office number, and you can call and leave a voicemail message, and we'll get back to you. But you can also use that email address, again, info at Schnack Financial, SCHNACK financial.com. Send us a note there that you'd like to come on in. That first appointment, there's no fee involved. It's just a matter of sitting down with you and getting an understanding of what you're looking for, what is you think might be appropriate for your situation, and we'll talk about that. And we want you to feel comfortable with the relationship you potentially would have with us, and vice versa. Candidly, there are some clients that come in that are looking or have expectations of what they want that we don't feel are what we provide. And so we'll be in a position that says, I'd rather say, no, we can't help you, and be able to greet you on the street without regret sometime in the future, than to say, oh yeah, we'll do all sorts of things for you, and then not be able to deliver. So it's a two-way street. It's a partnership in many ways to help you be successful financially.
And what number can they reach?
708-386-2790. And just hit 0, and you'll be able to leave a voicemail message.
Okay,
We'll
great.
get back to you.
Well, Randy, thank you so much for coming. You've given us a wealth of information today. They're right here in Oak Park, which is not that far from where we are, or just, you can get to it if you're in the Chicagoland area. But yes, please follow your Facebook page. What is the Facebook page? Is Schnack Financial Group?
Schnack Financial, and then we have another page, which is Small Business Education Group, and that has a lot of events for entrepreneurs on it. I'm on the board at Concordia University, and they hold guest lectures or speakers for free for entrepreneurs on a regular basis. So check that out, and it'll also show our events.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Let's Talk Woman to Woman. Please do not forget to register at any of the events that we have. Again, we're going to be at the Ravens Place tomorrow. So we cannot wait for that. Don't forget to follow us on our other social media handles besides Elegant Behavior, but Let's Talk Woman to Woman. Please share and like our videos, comment on our show today, and please reach out to Randy if you need help, whether you're just personal life or in business. Reach out to him. He can definitely assist you. And thank you so much for tuning in.
See you guys next Saturday.
Have a wonderful weekend.
And again, thanks to our vets
and
their families.
Thank you so much.